And welcome back for another episode of Thursdays with Charlie. This is number 98 for the 12th of May, 2022. Big announcement we have to make. We got word from the Riverside late on Sunday, too late to announce at the masses, that we will not be able to use Don's Celebrity Theater at the Riverside for the next 2 weekends. So on the weekend of May 14th and 15th and the weekend of May 21st and 22nd, all of the masses will be at the church. They will remain at the same times. So on Saturday, there'll be a 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. Mass at the church. And on Sunday, an 8 a.m., a 10 a.m., and a 12 noon Mass at the church. So for the next 2 weekends, May 14th and 15th, and May 21st and 22nd, all of the masses will be at the church. Please spread that word around. We got it too late to announce at the masses last weekend, so please spread it around to anybody who might be planning to go to Mass the next 2 weekends at the Riverside. We still have a few copies of the Word and Songbook remaining, which we're selling for $5 each. There are not many left anymore, but if you'd like one for the rest of the year, they are handy for the singing and following the readings. They're available for $5 each at our masses. The gift shop is finally getting some new items in that were held up in the supply chain crisis. There's some new rosaries, some new medals, some new booklet materials that are coming in. Please check out the gift shop tables at the church and also at the Riverside when we are back having masses there. Last weekend, we had a wonderful celebration for Mother's Day, and I told the story of the history of Mother's Day, and I think it's important enough to repeat in case some were not around for Mother's Day. Mothers were honored by the ancient Romans and Greeks many centuries ago, but American Mother's Day basically goes back to a woman named Anna Reeves Jarvis, who during the Civil War and set up ideas of mothering groups to teach young women the art of mothering and guiding a family. Her daughter, also named Anna Reeves Jarvis, was so impressed with her mother that when her mother died in 1905, Anna Reeves Jarvis, the daughter, decided that she wanted to do everything she could to honor her mother and all mothers throughout the country by having a day set aside just to honor Mother's Day. And she worked tirelessly from 1905 until 1914, when she was able to get, through her efforts and the efforts of many other people she enlisted, President Woodrow Wilson to declare that the second Sunday of May would be Mother's Day throughout the United States of America. It was a wonderful triumph. But sad to say, or maybe good to say, depending on how we look at it, Anna Reeves Jarvis was not happy with the way it worked out. She was happy that the day was set aside, but not happy with the way people were choosing to celebrate it. She envisioned a day on which people would gather with their mothers, would take their mothers to church, would go to church and pray for their mothers if their mothers had died. Instead, it was becoming a day when a card was sent to mothers, a gift, perhaps chocolate or flowers, was bought for mothers, but there was no investment of time, or church was taken out of the equation. And so Anna Reeves Jarvis, who had worked tirelessly for so many years to set up Mother's Day, worked just as tirelessly to have it removed. She was not successful in that, but she made her point that Mother's Day should be a day for honoring mothers by spending time with them, by bringing them to church, by remembering them in church if they had already been deceased. And so we hope that all of us will honor our mothers, certainly by keeping them in our prayers this week. Our Mother's Day novena of Masses continues. Every year we do 9 consecutive Masses, beginning on Mother's Day, remembering our mothers, and we keep the names that were given to us of our mothers and grandmothers and godmothers and stepmothers and foster mothers and aunts and sisters on the altar during the time of these 9 Masses. For those who were with us for Mother's Day, you know that we gave a little token gift to our mothers. And the token gift for this year was not only honoring mothers, but honoring one of the readings. Our first reading for Sunday was from the Acts of the Apostles, and it spoke of a man named Barnabas. And Barnabas, the name in Hebrew, means son of encouragement. And Barnabas shows up in the scriptures and the Acts of the Apostles, and the letter to the Corinthians, and the letter to the Colossians, and the letter to Galatians. He was a very popular figure in the early church. And basically he's remembered for his optimism, his ability to go into a Christian community, to see the way they were living the Christian life, to commend them on it, and to encourage them to continue. I think that's a very important Christian way of life, to find goodness, to see it, to appreciate it, and to encourage it to continue. St. Thomas Aquinas in his writings defined evil as the absence of good where there should be good. And so Barnabas saw good and saw the encouragement of it as something important. And the more good we see, the more good we encourage, the more good we put into the world, the less room that evil has to work. And so in light of that, the gift we chose for our mothers this year was these pair of sunglasses, women's sunglasses, kind of decorated with a little gold edging on it, and we passed them out. They're actually kind of nice, and we have a few pairs left over, and so if anybody would be interested, this weekend when you come to church, remember all of the Masses are at church, if you'd like to purchase any, they're going to be $2 each or 3 for $5 until we sell out of the small supply that we have left. They seem to be very popular when we gave them out to our mothers last weekend, and we hope that they are enjoying them. One of the positions I hold in the diocese, besides being a member of the Presbyteral Council, being a member of the Cemetery Committee for the Diocese of Las Vegas, being the administrator here at St. John the Baptist Catholic Church, is in 2019, the bishop appointed me as the rural dean. It was a new position that was created in 2019 to just have a little bit more coverage, attention paid to the 12 rural areas of our diocese. We have 12 parishes and missions that kind of encircle the city of Las Vegas on the outer fringes of the diocese. If we were to look at a map of the diocese, we, St. John the Baptist here in Laughlin, are the southernmost parish in the diocese. Ely is the northernmost parish in the diocese. Caliente is the easternmost parish in the diocese, and Tonopah and its missions are the westernmost parishes in the diocese. And so I've been trying to visit, as the dean, all of the rural areas, and I've made it to most of them, but there were still some that remained. And so with the help of one of our parishioners, Doug, who lives in Kingman and attends here with his wife, he offered to drive me, and we decided we would take a 3-day road trip from Tuesday through Thursday of last week and visit the parishes that surround Tonopah. The trip out there is normally 307 miles from Laughlin up through Vegas out to Tonopah. However, this time it took a little bit longer because when we got to just before Creech Air Force Base, they blocked the road because there was a bomb threat last Tuesday at Creech Air Force Base. We could actually see the entrance to the base, but the police wouldn't let us go past it. They were afraid of what this bomb threat might entail. So we had to backtrack 100 miles to Vegas, then down through Pahrump, and then back up again to Route 95 to continue our journey out to Tonopah. So what should have been a 307-mile trip out to Tonopah from Laughlin actually took a little over 407 miles because of the detour. We're not sure what happened with that bomb threat, but we did know that it caused us a delay. When we got back to Route 95, one of the things we passed and we had to stop and see it was Area 51, and there's actually a touristy store there called the Alien Store, surrounded by figures that look like aliens and all sorts of alien-type souvenirs. We stopped there and we paid them a visit and wandered through the store a little bit. Right next to it is the world's largest firecracker. It's huge. It's a couple of stories high. And then there's a fireworks store there. Had to stop in there and look around, buy a few sparklers. I didn't buy any real fireworks, just a few sparklers. And then continuing west on Route 95, we ended up in the little town of Goldfields. A very small community. It's almost becoming a ghost town for many years. And then we ended up in Beatty. And Beatty is kind of a tourist town. It's on the way to Reno, ultimately. There's a huge candy store there, the Death Valley Candy and Nut Company. If you're ever driving through Beatty, it is worth a stop. There's a little soda fountain inside. There's rows upon rows and rows of different types of candies from all over the world, all over the country. You'll find some old-time candies. You'll find many of the newer times, and they come from the smallest of packages to the largest of gift bags to bring home. We also saw some wandering herds of donkeys and antelope. I had seen donkeys before. I don't recall ever seeing herds of antelope. Truly beautiful animals wandering there. When we got to Tonopah, we checked into our room at the Mizpah Hotel. The Mizpah's been there since the very early 1900s. It's an old hotel. It's 5 stories high. Up until 1929, the Mizpah Hotel in Tonopah was the highest building in the entire state of Nevada. It's been surpassed, obviously, by the structures that have gone up since, especially in Las Vegas. We really enjoyed checking in there, had a beautiful room. The Mizpah is considered to be a haunted hotel. It's haunted by several different ghosts, so the stories go. One is the lady in red, who apparently likes to brush her hands through men's hair as she passes by, whether it's the fact that I have so little hair or the way I have it combed. She never brushed by my hair, so I never got to see or feel her presence. We also stopped in the Clown Motel in Tonopah, kind of a famous tourist attraction. The Clown Motel features 4,000 images of clowns, paintings, figurines, dolls, you name it, throughout the motel. It's quite an impressive sight. They have a huge clown sitting in the lobby, dressed in red. It's a little bit bigger than life size. And when we went in, the curator there said, "Oh, that's Charlie." So I have a clown physically named after me out in Tonopah. Right next to the Clown Motel is the old Tonopah Cemetery, which operated for about 10 years until they realized that it was actually built very close to a floodplain, and in the rainy season, it was a problem for the graves. So the cemetery actually only operated from 1901 until 1910, and then they transferred the cemetery to a different area. However, there are still a few graves remaining there that have survived over the years. Kind of interesting, the tombstones or the markers that are there very frequently mention how the person died. Died from pneumonia, died from a gunshot, died in a mine fire. They give the cause of death. When I was out there, there were many mining enterprises in there. Gold was discovered in Tonopah and around the area many, many years ago. Silver was discovered in the area. They also have something wonderful called Wonderstone. One of the people out in Tonopah said this is actually commonly referred to as a Nevada rock. But it's this form of sandstone, and the technical name is Wonderstone. I got a couple of samples of it. There's a nice thin piece, another rather larger piece. It's absolutely beautiful, especially when it's cut and smoothed out like that. But there is gold and there's silver in the mountains, and mining was the big industry out there for many, many years. There's also a dry lake bed that's there, and the rumor out there, I think it's more of a legend, is that when the rains fill up the lake and there's water in it, there are fish. When it goes to the dry season, the fish burrow into the ground and hibernate until water comes into the lake again. I don't know how true that is, and I haven't been able to check it out. I do know that the day we arrived in Tonopah, temperature was 36 degrees, and there was snow on all the surrounding mountains. So I do know that they get snow. The priest out in Tonopah, who was assigned there by our Diocese of Las Vegas, is Father Alex. And Father Alex is an Indian priest from Kerala in India, a very tropical region of India. So he was somewhat surprised this winter when he ended up going through his first winter in Tonopah. He still was remarking about how cold it felt while he was out there. Father Alex drives 300 miles every week, 300 miles every week among the three missions of Tonopah. So we'll talk a little bit about Tonopah and the three missions. The main church is St. Patrick's in Tonopah. It was founded in 1904. Las Vegas was only founded in 1905, so the Catholic Church in Tonopah is actually older than the entire city of Las Vegas. The story of Tonopah being founded goes back to a couple, Belle and Jim Butler. They became a prospecting couple who came out to look out over the area. And the story is told that they had some donkeys that wandered off, and Jim picked up a stone to throw at the donkeys to get their attention. And he realized that the stone, the rock he had picked up, was particularly heavy. And when he looked more closely, it was actually noticed a great amount of silver in it. But Tonopah is known for several types of mining. It has the second largest gold find in the United States over the years. Billions of dollars in today's currency in gold were taken out of the mines at Tonopah. Also has a great quantity of silver, and in recent years they've discovered lithium, which is going to be a great boon to mining in the area, finding that mineral lithium there. The parish is there. They have a beautiful scrapbook that goes back to their early days. The scrapbook is actually the size of a bridge table. It's huge when you turn the pages, and it goes back to St. Patrick's founding in 1904. They have a 9 o'clock Mass every Sunday at St. Patrick's in Tonopah. You can also find the Museum of Central Nevada in Tonopah. You can find a cute little restaurant, Tonopah Station, which has a giant stuffed grizzly bear that you can be photographed with, and of course we had to go and do that. Now, one of the missions of Tonopah is in Dyer, which is our only outpost of the Catholic Church in Esmeralda County. Father Alex has Mass there at the mission at 2 p.m. every Sunday afternoon. The mission is named for Our Lady of Guadalupe, and many of the parishioners are Hispanic farm workers. They don't actually, the church doesn't actually own the property. So the mission of Our Lady of Guadalupe meets in a large building, which is the community center called Fish Lake Community Center in Dyer. Dyer's an interesting little town. It has only a couple of hundred residents now, but it has had an operating post office since 1888. There's been a post office in Dyer, Nevada. It's actually a very beautiful town. I got to meet some of Father Alex's parishioners there, and they were so warm and so welcoming to us. They were so glad that we had an interest in coming out and seeing their area. Actually got invited to one of the parishioners' homes. She wanted us to see her house. She wanted us to meet her grandchildren. She wanted us to spend time with them. It was a very warm and friendly community. The other mission of St. Patrick's in Tonopah is the mission in Round Mountain. And they have Mass there in Round Mountain at 5:30 p.m. every Saturday. And that mission is in a trailer which the diocese owns. It's St. Barbara Mission in Round Mountain. It's a company town. It's basically built around a gold mine, and the gold mine is actually built in the area where many, many decades, many, many years, many, many centuries ago, there was a very large active volcano. It's a very small town even now, basically run around the gold mine company. Father Alex does a 300-mile circular trip every weekend, starting at 5:30 on Saturday. Well, he starts in Tonopah and drives up to Round Mountain on Saturday night, does a 5:30 Mass, drives back to Tonopah, does a 9 a.m. Mass on Sunday morning, drives out to Dyer and does a 2 p.m. Mass every Sunday afternoon, and then drives back to Tonopah. He has a 300-mile round trip every weekend. I will never ever complain about the 5 miles that I get to drive from here to the riverside most weekends. So that's a little view of our areas out there. We really had a nice time. I love seeing the mining, the scenery, the beautiful mountains, the herds of antelope. If you're ever out in western Nevada, certainly Tonopah and its surrounding area, beautiful place to see, and I'm glad that our Catholic Church has a presence out there. I want to tell you a little bit more about our yard sale day on May the 22nd that is coming up. Remember, it's free admission. It'll run from 3 p.m. till 6 p.m. on that afternoon. We'll have a live auction at 5 p.m. Among the other things, there'll be a yard sale going from 3 p.m. through 6 p.m. It'll be indoors. It's not a large outdoor market. It's an indoor one. We'll have what's called a tricky tray, a chance to win some of the prizes. There will be a clothing and jewelry boutique store. We have beautiful, I think at the last count, there were over 100 pieces of jewelry that we'll have for sale, there. There'll be fresh popcorn. I'm told that the smell of fresh popcorn will pervade the area. We'll have a disc jockey and some line dancing that we'll teach. We're certainly looking for any other items, so if you have any items you'd like to donate, small, not furniture, we're thinking in terms if you got a birthday or an anniversary gift or a Christmas gift that you're not planning on using, you could drop it off at the church for us to make some good use of it. The yard sale is going to benefit 2 projects, the Garces Center and a friend of mine's movie called The Yard Sale Movie. You'll hear more about the movie in the coming weeks. It's a good movie with a good moral tone to it. Items can be dropped off up through Friday, May 20th, up at the church. Looking forward to this day and having a good time doing it. Just to mention a couple of things that we've received for it. There are some wonderful pictures. We got an autographed picture of Larry Wilcox from the show Chips. We've got a ton of stuffed animals. We've got some beautiful clothing and jewelry. We got a lot of coolers if you want to get ready for summer. There's going to be a great array of these coolers that you can put soda or beer and keep them nice and cold and ready for you. There's also going to be a live auction. The live auction has things like 4 tickets to Universal Studios in California. There's even going to be a dinner. Deacon Dan is going to auction off a dinner that he'll prepare with his wife Pixie for 6 people at their home. You can bid on that. I'll have a dinner too. Don't worry, I'm not going to be cooking my dinner, but I'll take a group of people out to a restaurant. That's an item you can bid on over there. So if you'd like to hear a little bit more about the yard sale coming up, my friend Darren, who wrote the yard sale movie, is actually going to include a little video over here and show us what he's up to. Take a look at the video.
Hey everyone, Darren here. I'm here at the Garza Center to tell you about our May 22nd event. It's going to be fabulous. It's called the Yard Sale. Now this event is going to be made to benefit the Garza Center and a movie called The Yard Sale, which is a moral journey of this one guy. It's amazing. You'll hear all about it. Now here's the thing. We have been receiving so many donations out there, and we really appreciate every single one of those donations, you guys. Look at behind me. This is just a sample of what we're selling at the yard sale. But it's not just a yard sale. It's an event of the century, because I'm going to be there waka, 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 DJing. We're going to teach line dances, so bring your dancing shoes on there, bring your wallets, and we are going to let you shop and dance and shop at the same time. Who doesn't love that? Okay, so you guys, it's on May 22nd. Father Charlie has been handing out in the bulletins all the information that you need. And let me just show you some of the items that we have. Look at this. For the kids, we got dartboards and ping pong sets. Oh, over here, for the little ones, look at this. We are getting donated like Barbie dolls, Millennial Barbie. We also have an Avon doll over here. In case you're just feeling like, oh my gosh, Chips is my favorite show, we've got an autograph picture of Larry Wilcox, if you want to have that. And we've got waffle makers over here. Oh, look at this. These are so cute. Look, we've got stuffed animals galore. Oh, this is going to be so much fun. That's right. You can come down. It's going to be a garage sale. It's going to be an amazing garage sale. You guys, prices are going to be set to sell everything, benefiting the Garza Center. And this is just a sample. We have in the kitchen is full of stuff. You guys have been amazing at donating, and I want to say thank you to the congregation. You guys, this is going to be so successful. And as you can see, there is a bunch of different items. Also, we are going to have a room in the back. It's called the Boutique, where we are going to sell you guys clothing at good prices. If you can see over there, we've got jewelry, all kinds of jewelry that you guys want to get a hold of, you know, stuff at the $1 prices, $2 prices, $3 prices, all that stuff. Look at these were just donated angels for your Christmas display. Now, come on, you're going to want that. Over here, we've got waffle makers. This is crazy. And so many different items. Trust me, you are going to get a great deal. You're going to steal a deal right here at the Garza Center on May 22nd. Now, also, we are going to have what's called a tricky tray. Now, I think I'm saying that right. I don't know. It's Charlie's expression. We're going to have a little giveaway where you purchase a card, and on that card has a bunch of numbers, and you place it in items that you want to try to win. This could be one where you place your coupon for Tricky Tray in, and look at this, Fire 7. It's a tablet, little Fire 7, to help you guys out and watch. I think you can watch movies on it. I don't know. But that's just one of the many items. Over here, we've got a Ring doorbell, another Tricky Tray. It's going to be great. And then on top of all that, you're dancing. Yeah, you guys are out there and you're shopping. You've got the boutique going. We've got the Tricky Trade, and it's going to be crazy. We're going to have a live auction. And let me just tell you, folks, in the live auction, 3 items so far that I want to tell you about is 1, 4-pack tickets to Universal Studios, where you can come to Universal and see me in a different sort of light. Also, we've got 2 dinners that we're going to be live auctioning off, so bring your wallets. We've got a dinner with the deacon and a dinner with Charlie. So, and the deacon's going to cook. Can you guys believe that? Who doesn't want the deacon cooking? That meal is going to be so full of holiness. I love it. And then we've got dinner with Charlie. Charlie's not going to be cooking, so don't worry. I mean, I love Charlie and all, but he's going to take you guys out to a restaurant and it's going to be amazing. We'll tell you more. If you want information, Charlie's been putting it in the bulletins each week and it'll come out again. Most of you guys already know. And if you have stuff to donate, Charlie would tell you it's new in the box or a Christmas present you didn't really enjoy, but you want to get rid of it, come on, bring it down here for a great cause, the Garza Center here. You can see all the stuff we got going on, right? All right, you guys, I love you. Back to you, Charlie. Mwah. Love y'all.
Hope you enjoyed that. It was about 4 or 5 minutes of fun seeing some of the stuff, and believe me, there's a lot more there. Remember, any items you might want to donate, you can drop off at the church by Friday, May 20th. And of course, plan on coming to join us on May 22nd. It's time for Pascal to come down and join us, and he does. And in view of, you've all heard about the leak from the Supreme Court in recent weeks about them possibly overturning the Roe versus Wade decision. It was kind of appropriate. Vita Incipit a Conceptione. Life begins at conception. God bless.